Alright guys, on this episode of I Can't Do Anything Because the Motor's Knocking, I'm going to change out the radio. So it's still waiting for it to go to the shop. So right now I'm going to pull these units out. Got a new trim piece to go in there and doing a double din Alpine. This is the ILX 207. I've got one of these exactly like it in my Genesis and I love it. It works fantastic. So first thing I'm going to do, because it's warm out here, I'm going to go inside, get it wired up.
All right, folks, it's the Big Swag here. Do you like hot rods, muscle cars, and motorcycles? Then you came to the right place. We got everything from hot rods to racers. This is HiRevz Media.
Alright guys, so here is the radio wiring harness. That's from the Alpine. This is for an 86 to 2000 Ford with the extra amplifier plug that's in there. And then this is the settings thing. It does the double ground for us for getting into settings and not having to use the e-brake twice. It automatically does that for us. I like having those on all of mine. And then we got some connectors here. So just wiring this up this part is mainly just connecting colors. This is a little bit tricky. You got to read through the instructions to figure out what goes where to make sure that triggers correctly to this. All right, guys, so all of the grounds are connected here. When you hook up the parking brake bypass, all the grounds are together from all three harnesses. The yellow goes to the yellow and blue. That is your parking brake connector for the radio. And then all of your blue and blue with white stripes all go together. That's your amp turn on wire. I did hook it up to the factory harness. I don't know that it goes there, but it doesn't matter even if it goes to an empty pin, as long as that fires up this, because I don't have a separate amp in the car, but there is separate amps in the factory, so it might need it. So I did hook up those. The green wire goes to a foot brake wire. This harness doesn't need one, so it doesn't get hooked up, so I just snipped it off. The rest of these are just lining up colors together, which is all pretty simple, and then these get wired in also. So here are all the main connections. Yellow to yellow, orange goes nowhere, and then this is the blue, which is power antenna. This car doesn't have a power antenna, but just in case it sends power to another amp or something like that, this is the amp wire. It's connected red to red, the yellow to the yellow and blue, and then everything's kind of connected there. What's left is speaker connections, and these are super simple. So you've got the color with a tracer, the black tracer, and it's got each one of those that goes there. All right, guys, got it wired up. I'll pull out the radios first. You've got to have these special Ford keys to get in there. These go on each side. Both of them have them, little holes right here. Those go in and they kind of snap, and then it'll allow you to pull the radio out. So they're a little bit weird. You got to finagle them a little bit, get in there to be able to pull this thing loose, both sides, and kind of jimmy it out. Get those out of the way, take the wires off, and then we can start taking off this surround. All right, guys, I got the radio out, got all the wires unhooked. There's just little push buttons and they pop right out. And then inside here, there's a bracket that's connected to this. So you have to get the radio out first before you can get this off. And then there's two T20s, Torx heads in there, and there's two up under here. You got to pull all four of those out to be able to get this trim off. So I'm gonna do that next and then try to get this thing out. And like I said, these things do not work well. You have to play with it and play with it, play with it. Keep trying to get them in and then pull out with them, and they just want to come back out. So it's a lot of trouble, but they will come. You just got to keep messing with it. And I'm planning on losing these screws in the process. So if I save them, I'll be surprised. But they are kind of hard to get to. You gotta have a pretty long dang screwdriver to get down in here. And it's not going to come on out. So that my hands are way too big to get in here. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. Maybe I can get my hand out. There we go. Hey, didn't lose it. See, now I'm surprised. So now I got one more on this side. Oh, wait, maybe not. There's just a pin on this side, so there's just one. Will this pop out? Yeah, nice. So this will slide out now. Maybe. Get it unhooked. Got it snapped in all the way around. Unless there is a screw that I'm missing. Let's see. No, I don't think so. There we go. Look at that. This is actually coming out with it. So that's perfect right there. Now let's get that unhooked from this. All right, so now I actually snap those back into that, and they're just in there kind of hanging on a little trim piece. So the wires that go back here to the CD player, you won't need at all. You'll need the antenna. You'll need this plug, and I believe one of these two. It only fits one of them. And I don't know which one it is, but I think it's this one. But it only fits one way, so you can only do that one way. So those two will go on, that'll go in, and then we can at least try the radio, make sure that works. And then these tabs will have to be removed. That's the only thing I hate about this, is that you do have to cut the factory dash and remove these out of here, which kind of sucks because you want that hole doubled in. But it is what it is. It'll be so much better when it's out. All right, guys, I was right. It was this one right here, and then that one, and then your antenna. Those are only three. And let's see if I wired it correctly and that it comes on and it works. There's accessory. Hey, look at that. I think it might work. Just thinking about it. There we go. Got some sound. So we can find a station here. Hey, there's something. Look at that.
Bash concerts, and that's
awesome.
Foreigner, July 23rd. Motley Crue.
It works.
And Tesla, August 12th. Both those shows.
And digital radio is coming through. It's already put the HD1 here. It's working perfectly. And I mean, it is just talking here, but I don't want to get demonetized. But we can. It's actually working. Because now it's got to finish it. All right, guys, got one side off. Cut the other side off. I'm just using the blade of hacksaw and getting in there and cutting her down. All right, guys, here's the new panel. It does not have the on-off to turn the vents off, which is fine. I'll leave them on anyways. And then the vents actually snap out of the original one, just the front part, and then snap into here. All right, guys, got the sides bolted on to the actual frame of the radio. And then there's little pins right here. Those go in those holes. You gotta take these screws out, and that holds in at the top. Then I'm gonna use the other factory screws to put in the bottom. All right, guys, put those other three screws in those holes. I did have to get a drill because that is crazy hard. You think it's just foam and a thin piece of plastic. That stuff is like steel. It took forever to drill through that. Anyways, it's mounted in there good and solid. Now, the paperwork here says that there's clips that snap this in there and the faceplate snaps in, but it says the clips aren't included. And you don't have those clips. These clips, the factory clips, don't match what's there. So that doesn't make any sense that they don't send you those clips, because there isn't any clips but those on here, and those aren't meant to really come off after their own, and they're not the same as what you're wanting here. So that makes no sense. So I'm hoping it holds in, goes in place and holds where it's supposed to, and that this top part essentially holds. We're gonna see. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to maybe contact them and figure out what clips these are. There's no part numbers or nothing. Maybe you could buy them online. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so this is now flush with that, and it doesn't fit because the radio needs to be set back in the frame a little bit. But I'm pretty sure I'm as far back in that frame as I can go. So now I've got to take it back out and see if I can get that radio set back in there a little bit to see if this will drop on down at least another 1/4 inch. All right, guys, it's working pretty good. Got everything hooked up, and it's a little bright, but it's definitely looks okay. I had to break off some little tabs that were in the way. Got rid of those. Now the radio's faceplate is sitting all the way down. Still don't have clips, but it does seem to hold okay. I may add some foam around where these go in just to seal it, and I think that'll hold it a little bit better even, but it looks pretty good. Overall, pretty happy with that. So shut this dinger up. Get a kind of an idea of what it looks like here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, guys, these 2 tabs that are sticking into the radio area right here need to be snapped off because that's why it's rocking back and forth. Anyways, I'm super happy with the radio, but I knew that I would be because I like the one in the Genesis so much. So you see how much shinier this is than that is. And that's because this doesn't have anything on it, and this has not Armor All, but some stuff kind of like it on there. So that doesn't match exactly perfect, but this almost looks like it matches the 99 to 04 better, which was their black was a kind of a dark gray, and I actually have a 99 to 04 bezel, so I might actually switch to that. It might make it look better overall, but I'll mess with that later. Anyways, the radio's working well. Everything's wired up. Everything's working. This was super finicky to try to make it fit right, but overall, I think it looks pretty dang good. Pretty happy with that. One more thing done that, like I said, still can't drive it, so might as well get some things done.
HiRevz Media is sponsored by Born to Ride Motorcycle Magazine. Check out borntoride.com.